Well, hello again. Welcome back to the scrapyard. I've changed this up a little bit. I've just put some different cars out here because I want to show you these cars. Some new acquisitions, and not all these cars that are in the scrapyard diorama are actually for the scrapyard. But basically, before I start telling you about these cars and going into a bit of detail, the point of this video, there's been some comments made that the scrapyard cars look a bit too good, and most scrapyards would have damaged cars or cars with damage and dents and look like, you know, crashed or crushed cars in them. So my argument for that is I have actually got a few damaged cars. There's this one here. There's this Oldsmobile Tornado which has been crushed and is very rusty. We've got this Mini with a crushed in roof. So that was in a job lot with broken pillars, so that's pretty, you can't say that's not damage, can you really? I mean, that's pretty bad. So there's that one, and there's also this car over here, which is the Oldsmobile 88, you know, that one, and that was knackered anyway, so I just squashed the roof on that. I squashed the roof on that in the vice in the shed, and did a really very poor Bang Eraser bodge paint job on it. But yeah, that's pretty bad. But that's about the only damaged cars I've got. So I do agree. When I worked in the scrapyard, most of the cars that were there for picking parts off that were piled up, you know, the cars that were there stacked up for taking parts off yourself, most of those weren't crash damage, but I agree, there was usually a few dents and a few bits of damage here and there. They weren't all in good shape bodily. Most of them were there because of rust and them becoming MOT failures, but some of them did have dents and things, so I do take the point. So to put that right, I'm going to do some damage in this video on some cars I've picked out. I'll show you these new acquisitions in a minute, but yeah, I've picked out a few, because if you do some damage on the cars, I'm gone off tangent again. What I was going to say was I have actually tried doing. I did this damage across the roof on that one, and I also had a dinky Range Rover, a copper one, that I got some doors and bits off, and I tried to squash that, and it just collapsed. Basically, what happens if you don't use a car like this, that's a solid casting, if it's got opening features, it will fall apart. And then that's what happened with the dinky Range Rover. I tried squashing it, crushing it in the vice, and it just, you know, it broke into two parts and it didn't look realistic, and so that was the end of that. So that's a bit of a shame. So you've got to be careful what you select. This one has got quite thin, this is the minivan, it's got quite thin wings on it, so they should dent quite easily. You've got to know when to stop as well, because if I crush it at the back end, this bit where it clips in, that's just a tab that goes into there. It's only riveted at the front, so if I break it at the back end and that snaps off, it's going to come apart, and it'll just fall apart as well, so it won't be any good. So I'm going to do some light damage on that. I'm going to do some little dents, some little dings, things to make it look a bit more believable as a scrapyard car. This taxi, I picked the taxi out as well because it's very heavily weathered now, and it looks like it might be in a scrapyard, but again, it would look better if it had some dents in it. So I'm going to dent the front wings up and try and make it look a bit more like, you know, a bit more like it might actually be in a scrapyard, just give it a bit of damage, but not too much. So that's for another one, and I'll show you that in this video. It might be a long video, but who cares, that'd be alright. This is a recent acquisition. This is a Dinky Toys Volkswagen Beetle, Volkswagen Deluxe actually, but yeah, it's a Beetle, and I got this because all the features open. So I've taken those off. I've taken the bonnet, the bonnet and the hood, boot, engine cover, whatever you call it, and both the doors. So I'm going to paint the interior black on that. That would look quite good. Paint the interior black, paint the chassis black. That would look good sitting on top of a pile. But I'm thinking, if that bit at the bottom of the windscreen, if that doesn't give way, if that stays intact, I'm going to gently try and put a dent in the middle of the roof. I had a Corgi Beetle once before, and I got an old door hinge and squashed it in the vice, and it put a big sort of like a V shape in the central part of the roof caved in, and the sides were stayed up. So see if I can recreate that. So that's that. I've also selected this one, this Corgi Herald, because that's quite solid. It's got a metal base, riveted quite strongly, so I can probably squash that and do some damage. And if the wheels come off, I don't care, but make it look a bit more, you know, give that some damage as well. It shouldn't fall apart. So that's another one. This Capri that I got, this was in quite good shape when I got it, but I've painted it obviously. Both the windscreen pillars are fractured. That's gone at the top, and that one's gone at the bottom. I was putting some paint on it, and using a paint pen actually, and the paint pen sort of spilt a load of extra paint out of it, and it made a right mess all over the windows. So I've actually broke the windows out. You can see that's why that mess is there. So the glass is gone now, so it's pretty shot. So I might pull the wheels off it, but yeah, look, there's quite thin metal on the wings there as well. So just going to dent the wings in a little bit on that. I won't go too overboard because the windscreen pillar's already broken. So anything too heavy, it's probably going to start cracking and fracturing. If the sill sections fracture, the whole car just splits in two, and then it's not realistic and it won't look any good on the scrapyard. So, but it's got rivets at each corner is riveted, so 4 rivets on that. So that should withstand a bit of bending in the vise, hopefully. So that's that. And also, I went to a car boot sale recently, and I picked this up because I like Morris Minor vans. I'll show you. I've got, don't know why, I've got a door off a Morris Minor van in my room. I don't know, I quite like it. I got that quite cheap at an auto jumble. I don't know why I've got that in my room, but it just makes it, I like seeing it. It just cheers me up. So along with my front of an American car, but that's another story. Right, yeah, so back to the video. So yeah, this I bought it because it's a Morris Minor van. It's made by Corgi. It's got a metal base, and I just think, yeah, it's a bit boring, isn't it, really? You know, these models are everywhere. It's a nice model, but I think it's going to look a lot nicer if I do some damage on it. I'm going to try and leave the back intact, because if I try and squash the back, you know, the doors won't pop off because they're cast in, so it won't look very good, but I can probably do some damage on the front. The grille and bumper might fall off, but that doesn't matter too much. Just make it look like it's had a bit of a wreck at the front, or something's fell on it. We'll have some fun. I'll show you I'll show you by the end of this video. I shall show you what they all look like. I shall go and do the damage in the shed, and then I'll show you the results. So that's that one. Some other things I bought at the boot sale. I got this trailer. It's got a pull-out awning on it as well. It's a 5th wheel trailer. It's quite nice. Well, it's plastic with a diecast chassis made by Majorette. That's quite good. And I got this Matchbox Superfast. It's a Rollermatics wildlife truck. The Rollermatics thing doesn't work because I don't know. I couldn't get it to work. But the rear turntable on that goes round. It would have had a line that sits on there, and it goes round and round as you drive it along. But yeah, that's quite good. So that's for the scrapyard. When I use these small scale cars in the scrapyard, I've got a couple of Matchbox Lesney horse trailers. This one has actually got horses in it. I won't get them out, but you can see in there. Hang on, let's do them in the back. Yeah, it's got the horses in there as well, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so 2 of those. It's an old Superfast casting, but they did make that for a long time. That was available for many years. I got a this is a Hot Wheels Ford Transit Supervan. Unfortunately, this was at the boot sale. Got it for a £5. Very nice casting, but unfortunately it's in a rubbish. It's Disney 101 Dalmatians, so that's really realistic colours, isn't it? But it's a nice van. I tried removing the transfers with the nail varnish remover, but they're still on there. So that's potentially a candidate for a repaint. It's a really nice model, really well cast. Yeah. Right. So that's that. I've got a couple of these actually I've got 3 of them, little Lesney freeway tankers. I think they're called a freeway. What does it say on it? Yeah, articulated truck. Anyway, I mean they're not prototypical in any way, but I had had a few of those when I was a kid, so that's why I got those. And they're not realistic, but they're very cute. I quite like them. I think they're funny little models. Look at the short wheelbase on that. Yeah, I'm sort of slightly diverting a bit from the point of this video, but here we've got a Matchbox. No, it's not. What am I talking about? Matchbox. It's Kinsmart. It's a 1/36 scale, 1/38 scale Aston Martin. Very nice. It's got opening doors as well, I think. Yeah, opening doors and all that. This is one of these models. I bought this at the seaside, one of the seaside shops, and it comes in a tray. Most of them were silver, but I thought it looked really nice in the racing green. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's got a pullback motor, but it's very nicely modelled. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep that one actually, to be fair, but it's very nice, very good. I thought I'd take that home with me. So yeah. Yeah, most of them were silver, meant to look like the James Bond one, but yeah, and the green looks nice. Anyway, let's show you quickly a couple of things before we go and do some destruction. Okay, so Triumphs. I've got a few Triumphs recently. These are not for the scrapyard. I've got this one to restore. It would look good on the scrapyard because the whole front bonnet lifts up like the Triumph, like that Triumph Herald. The whole bonnet comes up to show the engine. But I wanted one of these for a while, and it's a Dinky Triumph Spitfire, and this came up very cheap on eBay. I put a low bid on it and I won it, so you never know what you're going to find on eBay, but that's the back end of it. Triumph. So someone's restored this basically. It's just if you get restoration someone else has done, they usually come up fairly cheap. Dinky Toy Spitfire, and it's been screwed back together. It didn't have any tyres, but I've nicked the tyres off. I've got another, that's a Corgi Toys Dinky, no, what am I talking about, Corgi Dinky? I'm losing the plot today. That's a Corgi Toys Triumph Herald Coupe, but I've already got one of those on the scrapyard anyway, so that was another one that I got. So yeah, this one, I nicked the tyres off that to put on this. They fit really well, nice new tyres. But I like the metallic paint, the metallic purple. He's done that really well. Whoever restored this has done the metallic paint, the purple metallic paint really, really well. But they've gone and ruined it by picking out the details in silver, as the factory would have done. But they've just overdone it. Look, it doesn't look too bad that side, but on this side, there's silver paint all over the shop. It's a real bodge job. You know, they could have done a better job on the silver paint. Really, look at that. That's awful. So it needs a few parts. It's going to need a driver, a steering wheel, a windscreen, and that thing at the back is supposed to have a seat belt that goes around the driver. That goes in there. So there's a few parts to order, but I'm going to order them, and I won't repaint it. I like the purple paint. It came in purple from the factory, but this is obviously a repaint. But it's a shame about that silver paint that's been overpainted, but yeah, I really like that. It's a really nice model. So that's a Triumph, one Triumph. I'll put that back in here. Yeah, I just wanted to do this video and show you some recent acquisitions. I know these sort of videos aren't as popular as unboxing videos are much popular, but if you like my unboxing videos, you'll be pleased to know there's a couple more job lots in the pipeline that I've won for really dirt cheap. You know, really dirt. It's just cheap and cheerful stuff, but it is. I won some very dirt cheap job lots, so I'll probably do those two. When those two turn up, I'll do them in one video. So you'll get another unboxing video in the pipeline. Triumph 1300 from Dinky Toys. It's number 162. I've wanted one of these. I've been after one of these for a very long time, but they're normally quite expensive on eBay. They're usually very expensive, even in poor condition. But I got this one, and that one, and this thing, which is, sorry, I'm trying to show you. that thing which was falling apart, that's again someone else's restoration. I got those 3 in a job lot, and so it was about 15 quid for the 3, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so I'll just show you that. It's got everything bonnet. The only thing that's wrong with this, really, it's a bit chipped, but I'm not going to repaint this. If I can hold it steady, I'm really bad at wobbling models about, sorry about that. Yeah, but it's got one jeweled headlight missing a jeweled headlight, and that's about it, I think. The glass is all pretty good. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing that's wrong with it, is most of the paint's chipped off the bonnet. The bonnet seems to have lost most of its paint, so I might repaint the bonnet, but I'm not repainting the whole car because I quite like the slightly chipped look. It gives it character, but it's a really nice, lovely period model, made in the 60s, I guess, of the old Triumph. Looks very similar to what became the Dolomite Sprint. It's that sort of design. Yeah, the boot opens as well, so that's nice. And it's yeah, it's in nice condition. It's got all its tyres. It's got if I can do it. I'm not wobbling the camera, I'm wobbling the car around, so I do apologise for that, but yeah, I'm trying to do this one-handed. I might get a stand for my phone at some point, yeah, but it's got steering wheels, so yeah, that's nice. So I'm really pleased to get that one, so might repaint the bonnet. That's as far as I'll go with that. And it's too nice. It's not going on the scrapyard either. I bought that for my collection. That's going in my collection. That's not for the scrapyard. I got this for this will go in the collection as well, because I got one. This one I'll show you. I hope I'm not boring everyone to tears. I hope someone's actually interested in doing this. Me waffling about my cars. It's like show and tell, isn't it? Look what I've got this and I've got that, but I'm just doing the video and posting it in the hope that someone might find it interesting. Yeah, so this is the one I got for the scrapyard, and it was quite rough. I had to put this paint on it because it had no paint at all. That front windscreen pillar I did myself because that was missing. So yeah, you can see the chassis, it was all like that with no paint. So yeah, and the windows been put through. Well, you don't do any, a lot of the cars in the scrapyard aren't damaged. Well, I did that. I put the window through, so yeah, we'll do some damage in a minute. Anyway, so that's that one. So that's why there's the dog doing his thing. Yeah, so this is a bit chipped and damaged, but the paintwork's slightly chipped basically, and it's got a little flat spot on the tyre, but apart from that it's alright. It's nice styling, isn't it? It's ugly as sin. I mean, I've seen these cars about years ago and at classic car shows, and that rake back rear windscreen, it's absolutely hideous. It's a really ugly car, but it's got some style to it. It is stylish as well. I mean, there was a Ford made a coupe version of this. I think it was called the Consul Capri. It's the first car they used the Capri name on, and that actually was a 2-door fastback version of this, and that was actually a really good looking car. The 2-door fastback version is really nice. But yeah, ugly car but nice model. So that's that one. I'll show you this other one. This other Triumph. That's the last other Triumph I got. Yeah, someone's really piss poor. Excuse my language, but let's face it, it is piss poor. This is a restoration that someone's done. Stuck it together with Araldite. Used some paint that looks like it's gone sort of dark, or perhaps they put a varnish on top. Some sort of varnish has been put on that. It's gone dark. It looks awful. Yeah, I put the windows through, so I'm gonna go and do some damage on this. I'm going to crush the roof in, so because the Triumph Herald Coupe, it was just a coupe top. It was like a hard top that bolted onto the top, so it's going to lose its roof, and I think I'll do some damage on the back end as well. It doesn't matter. This came as a part of a job lot, so it doesn't really matter. I've already nicked the bonnet off it. It had the bonnet attached. I've taken it off from my pile of spare parts, so that's going in the pile of spare parts in scrapyard when I sort of set the diorama up again as it should be. So yeah, it's going to get some damage. So I mean, look, it's just the paint where it's been brush painted, it hasn't even been sprayed. So if you're going to restore a model, at least do it properly. But anyway, that's that. Right, so that's that one. Right, I'm going to try and speed this up a bit now. I mean, it still hopefully won't be too long a video, because the bit of the damage, I don't know if I'm actually going to video myself trying to damage the cars, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, so this is a Rover I had in a job lot which I put in the scrapyard. I added the rust paint effects, you know, made it look a bit rusted up. I really like the look of that, but I haven't. I mean, so it should be damaged, shouldn't it? But it's such a nice model. I love these models. Had one of these when I was a youngster. My dad bought it for me from a steam rally. So when I went to a steam rally when I was a kid. So there's no way I'm going to do any damage to that. I mean, it's already got a crack in the windscreen, but I'm not doing anything else to it. Give it some rusty paint. That can be cleaned off. It could be restored in the future. You know, I could take that paint off it and do a proper restoration. I won't. I'll leave it as it is. But I thought I'd get a nicer one. So that's the rusty one, and here's the nice one. Same colour, same red interior. But it's slightly chipped. It's not mint condition. Slightly chipped, but I'll show you. It's got the transalite lights, so that's really cool. Yeah, it's a nice model. So I'm glad I've got a nicer one. As I say, it's a bit scratched and chipped up, but I do like the scratched and chipped up look to a point, you know. It looks like it's had a bit of a life, but it's really nice. It's nice, presents really well, displays really well. So that's that one. That's the Rover. So other ones I bought, I had this rubbish Corvair was a part of a job lot. I got this for the scrapyard, and I did a bit of work on weathering that. It's got a little blind in the back and the opening engine cover. If I can do it, it will open. But yeah, and I thought that's quite nice. But again, I didn't want to put the windows through or crush it or anything like that. So that's as it is. That's as it is on the scrapyard. Debatable whether you'd find a Chevrolet Corvette on a British scrapyard, but anyway. So I bought a nicer one. Again, it's a bit chipped, slightly chipped and slightly play worn, but it's much better condition than the other one I got. So this is one for the collection as well. So very nice. I like that. It's a nice model. It's really good. I like that model. So Chevrolet Corvair, and it's original, the original paint. So yeah. So if I can put that over there. I'm working on I've got a dinky transits. I'm making a little, trying to make a good dinky transit out of two rather poor ones. That's what I'm doing there. Right, so I've shown you all that. What else was I going to show you? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that caravan. The caravan's changed. This isn't the usual caravan that's in the scrapyard. That came from the boot sale for, dirt cheap. Wasn't much. This is another one. I have bought this for the scrapyard. This was for the scrapyard because it's Dinky Toys, Victor Estate. That's why it doesn't say Vauxhall, but it is a Vauxhall Victor Estate. What does it say on there? No, it doesn't. Victor Estate. Missing the tailgate. They mostly are. But yeah, that will be good in the scrapyard, I think. Doesn't need much. I'll just leave it. I mean, again, you know, or you could put damage on it, but I don't want to. I don't want to ruin a casting that could be restored in the future. Once you damage it, and this is an old 60s dinky diecast car, and I don't want to damage it because it could potentially, you could get a new hatch for it. You could take it apart, respray it, and put tyres on it. It'll look good as new. So why would I want to put the windows through and crush it? So I'm not doing that. But this is a weird thing about Dinky Toys. Look how stuffed in, how far in the wheel arches the wheels are. It's a bit weird. That's one thing I don't. That's what I actually prefer. I prefer Corgi Toys because Corgi Toys, the wheels are generally sort of where they should be. I'll show you an example. I mean, on this Rover, that looks all right, doesn't it? The wheels are where they should be. But look at this. Oh, I just dropped a car. Never mind. Only hit on the carpet. It'll be fine. I know it's got steering wheels, but look how far in the wheel arches those wheels are. If you look at it from that angle, you can't see that. It's alright. It's just a little niggle. Yeah, I am going to get on with this damaged. I will, but just another car from the scrapyard I was going to show you. This is the Ford Cortina Estate car, the Woody wagon thingy. Based on a real car, they did actually make this the Mark 1 Cortina Estate with wood panels on it, but it's quite a rare car now. But yeah, I got this for the scrapyard. This was part of a job lot as well, I think, when I got it. But it looks really good because it's in red. It's the red colour I really like. It sort of works really well. So I've weathered that for the scrapyard. And again, that's why I'm not going to damage that, because that could potentially be restored. Well, those front bumpers are gone. I think it looks good as it is. I don't want to do any damage to that. but I thought that's a bit of a shame it's in such bad condition, so I went and bought another one, a nice one, a good one. Fairly, well, I mean, it's missed. The front number plate thing is broken off, but apart from that, it's in pretty good order, pretty good shape. Slightly chipped again, but I don't mind that, gives a bit of character. So it's got good windows, it's got all its tyres, and main thing is it's got a tailgate. If I can open the thing up, hang on, I can never do these blooming things on camera. Yeah, so it's got the opening tailgate as well, and that's all. Dog in the background, I do apologise, I'm going to carry on with the video. So that's the blue one, but the red one, like this red one, is quite rare. Apparently the red colour is a rare version, but I found on eBay, and it didn't cost me that much money either. I didn't pay a lot of money for this. The red one, so I've got two red ones now. So look, that red one there, and this red one here. So two red ones, very nice. This isn't in quite such good condition. It's a bit chipped up. It's got a crack in the windscreen. It's got its front number plate though, and it has got the tailgate. I keep trying to hold these things still so you can get a proper look, because if I keep waving them about, you can't see what you're looking at. And you can see the tail. I don't think the roof's bent. Maybe it is. No, I don't think it is. No, I think the roof's okay. The thing with this is, I think the it says that side looks all right. The chrome could be I could put some chrome pen on the bumpers. Just hang on a minute. Yes, the tailgate opens, but you can see there the roof isn't bent, but there's something wrong with the hinge there. I don't know what that is. What the issue there is, I don't know. So it's a bit wonky on the tailgate. It looks like the roof's bent, but I don't think it is. Look, that side looks okay. If we look at this side, it looks okay as well. Yeah, no, it's just the tailgate's got an issue, but that's all right. It's fine. I mean, that could go on the scrapyard, but I'm not going to put it on the scrapyard. I've got that red one and the blue one for my collection, so that's the scrapyard one. Right, last thing, Corgi Capris. Got this Corgi Capri here, which is going to get damaged any minute now. And you're all saying, "Oh, get on with it. Let's see the damaged cars." What is he whittering on and banging on about his other car collection for? We're not interested in that. We came here to see cars getting damaged. Well, you will do. This is one I've been after for a long time. This is the Corgi Toys Whiz Wheels Glowworm. It's called the Santipod Glowworm, and it is based on a real car. It was a real racing car that they had, dragster, I think. Of course, it's a dragster. That's what it's called, isn't it? Just trying to open it again off camera. Yeah, well, I probably won't try and open the other one, because what happens with these is the body lifts up and it does actually come off. It actually detaches. If you look on eBay for Glowworm Dragster Corgi, you'll quite often see just the chassis bit without the body on it, because they come apart. So I got this rather tatty one. Paintwork's a bit tatty and all that, but I thought, yeah, I really wanted one. I was going to buy one at Swap Meet once. So I was at a Swap Meet once. If ever you go to toy fairs or car boot sales, if you see anything you want, buy it when you see it, because saw it on a store. I thought, well, I might come back for that. I went back to the store to get it later on, and of course it had been sold. So if you see something you want, get it there and then, otherwise someone else will nab it off you. So anyway, that was quite rough. I was going to get some paint and patch it up, but then I saw that this one popped up on eBay. I actually swapped the chassis because the wheels on this one were quite dog-eared. That one's got rough wheels. You can see they're a bit scuffed up. That chassis was on this body, so I just swapped the chassis over. Easy to do. I won't take it apart. This one, it's got a release mechanism. If you press that button on the central bit of the front bumper, it releases it and lifts up. But I won't do that because you saw what happened last time. This one's missing a driver. He's been run over. He's down there because he wasn't sitting properly in the chassis on this one, so I just took him out. So, but yeah, that is a very cool looking car. and it's called the glowworm because it's got these glowworm decals. I don't know if that's heating company or what else to do with it. I don't know, or if it's just a logo. Can you see that? Yeah, glowworm. Custom car magazine. I used to buy that back in the day. I used to buy Custom Car magazine and Street Machine magazine and all those kind of magazines about custom cars. Body by Fiberglass Repairs. Yeah, I've seen pictures of the real car on Google, and yeah, it's pretty good. And this one, it's got a couple of chips here and there, but the paintwork, I mean, it's the sort of printing of the blue stripe printing is really good. It's only a bit chipped up, and that's about it. So a few little chips. So that's a really nice one. I really like that. So ignore the dog barking in the background. Let's go and smash them. Let's go, not smash up. Let's go and damage some cars. So I shall see you in the shed in a minute if I record it, and if not, if I decide not to record it, I shall see you back up here when I've done the damage. So see you shortly. Right, so here we are in the shed, and this is the police Morris Minor van. I've taken removed the police signage and the blue light off the roof, and the lettering's gone off the side, so it's not a police van anymore. And it is currently in the vice. We're going to see what happens with it. If I can get a good camera angle. I don't know if I better use a torch. Well, we'll have a go. I'll just see how it goes. Hang on a second. Right, is it going to focus on the car? Yes, it is focusing on the car. Let's see what happens if I apply a bit of pressure to it. Recording in progress. It's not focusing very well, is it? It's focusing on that. Oh, there we go. Now we've got it. Pressure is about to be applied. Hang on. This is not easy. I'm trying to do this holding my phone and turning it as well. Right, let's have a look. There we go. Is it going to focus on it? Let's get a focus on it, and if we can. There goes the pressure on it. Oh, look, the roof, the front bumper is bending. It's going a bit. Oh, yes, that's going. Slow progress. Maybe I'll speed this bit up. Ah, come on, let's get it. Oh, look. And the finger in the lens as well. Right, shall I have a look at that, or shall we? Let's look at it from the top down. Oh, I think it's dented. Let's have a look at that. So hang on a second. Yeah, well, that's pretty dented. That's bent on that side. And it's bent on that side as well. So it's a bit damaged. We got the front's a bit sticking out a little bit. Yeah, it's had a bit of a hit on the side, but I think we can do a bit more than that. It looks a bit too tame, to be honest. It's pretty good. It's nice, actually. I'm just thinking, what else should I do? I'm tempted to give the roof a bit of a kick. Should we drop something on the roof as well? Let's have a go at that. Hang on a second. Let's see what else we can do. I mean, that's pretty good. It's still in one piece, and that's the main thing. We'll see how we go. Hang on. Watch this space. Right. So this is the progress I made so far. I'm leaving it there now because I've just realised the Morris van. It's got a rivet there, but the back is just held in with this little tongue tab. So if I bend it too much more, if that gives way, then the whole thing will fall apart. So you can see the rear wheel arch is out of line now. But this is what we've done. Let's have a look. I decided to take the front grille off because it's looks better without it. So that's gone. I pulled one of the wheels off as well, so you've got the dent. You can see the level of the dent in there. That's pretty bad. And also dented in the roof as well. So yeah. So it's a bit damaged. The doors are still intact. Probably need to bust the windows out actually, because that's not sitting right now. But yeah, so it's not majorly damaged, I suppose, but I don't really want to go overboard with it. If I bend it too much more and that back bit pops out, it's going to look a bit crap. But it's got damage now. It's got dents. Looks more like the sort of vehicle you'd see in a scrapyard. It's got something's fell on the roof, and yeah, front damage. So that's that one. I've done the beat of the bit as well. Quickly show you that. Yeah, so I think I might end the video down here actually, rather than going back upstairs with these. I'll show you the results from while we're down here. Right, next on the agenda, I don't know. What should I do next? I think the Triumph. Here we go. Here's the Triumph, same technique. Let's see what happens. Pressure is being applied. Here we go. Nothing much to see so far. Let's make it worthwhile, shall we? Let's give it a proper go. I'm putting some real pressure on it now. Yeah, not much to see actually, considering it's being squashed for sure. Or something's popped. Something's gone. I'll keep going. Let's make it a hard hit, make it worthwhile. It's hard to hold the camera steady here, but we'll give it another go. Trying to film this is not easy. That's like the beat. I gave up trying to film the Beetle. I just did it off camera. So, I think if I do much more than that, it's going to probably pop. Yeah, the rivet's going to go. So, I think we'll call it a day on that. Let's have a look. See what we got. Yeah, well, that's what happens if you go too far. See, it's popped apart. The seals come off. Yeah, you can see inside there. The rivet has come out actually, unfortunately. So it doesn't even look that good, to be honest. That was a bit of a fail, I think. But I'm going to try and rectify it. I'll do some more on it. Hang on a minute. I'll carry on with it, and we'll see. I'll show you the finished result. Trying to film it is not easy while it's in progress. Right, well, I've not managed to video a lot of this because it's very hard to film this. But I've just had a go at this Capri, and the windscreen pillars have gone. It's a bit bent. Let's show you. That's what's happened. I tried squeezing it and the front's popped open like that, so that's what that looks like. It's just the thing, why don't you damage the cars and give them some crash damage? It's not easy with die-cast models. Right, I don't know how well this is going to go, but oh sugar, that's the wrong way. Just going to try and video this being crushed. I'm just crushing the roofing because it's pretty bad anyway. It's not gone well. It's lost its. I took the front wheels off as well, so the roof is being crushed as we speak. I'm trying not to bend the. Don't want to fracture the sills, but it looks like it's going that way. Yeah, it's not very dramatic trying to film this. It's all a bit slow motion. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. I'll show you when I'm finished what it looks like. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, it's not focusing well. I've just lined this minivan up. I dented the wings, it's had a bit of damage. I'm going to crush the roof in on the corner if I can. Hopefully it doesn't pop the tab at the back, so it's still hoping it stays intact while I do this. But here we go. Pressure is being applied. Just going to get in focus again before I do any more. There we go, it's just going down. The dog's running around a little bit. Dog's making noise all the time. Sorry, but I come out into the shed and he still follows me out here. Right, here we go. Let's have another go. It's very slow motion, this. I'm sorry, but that's the way it has to be done. Well, I think that will do, because if I do any more than that, it'll fracture the pillar. Let's have a look. I've had a go at the taxi, and the Herald's a bit worse for wear. But again, I'll show you that upstairs. So. Right, and there's one car I forgot to bring down here. So anyway, I'll see you upstairs. I'll see you at the scrapyard. I'll show you there what the results are, because trying to film it down here isn't really working. Okay, well here we are, back at the scrapyard, and I'll show you what we've done. We've damaged some vehicles with varying degrees of success. I think this one was a success. The Morris Minor van was quite a success, I think, because yeah, the bumper and the grill's gone, that's good. So it also needs a bit of paint to sort of make it look a bit more tidy, but yeah, I took that wheel off, and we've got both front wings. You can see in the light how dented that is. That's quite badly dented, that front wing there. And on this side we've got same thing. So there's a bit of a dent on that, and I've left the wheel on that side, but it looks quite good, quite like that. And then of course I've done the roof. managed to dent the roof in without actually bending the doors too much, because obviously you want it to look fairly realistic. So the doors, they might still be salvageable, and the roof's gone a bit. I think I'm going to probably I shall probably smash the glass out, because that doesn't look believable, does it? You can see the glass unit sitting too low. So that's one thing about cars in scrapyards, the windows got broken all the time. When I worked in the scrapyard, I remember they needed to get I think you need to get a seat out of, what was it, an Escort van, I think it was, a Ford Escort van, and they needed to get the front seat out to sell it to somebody, and the van was locked. He couldn't get in the door from the outside, so he basically just threw a brick. He threw a brick several times at the glass until it smashed, and then you could get in and remove this seat for the customer. So yeah, so the windows are going to go on that, but it looks alright. I quite like that one, quite pleased with that. So that's good. And it's still intact. Lost its police lettering, which is good, because you don't want to have a police liveried vehicle in there. I do remember seeing an ex-police Austin Maestro in the scrapyard when I was there, but it was just a bare shell, which is how you knew it was a police car. It was a white Maestro shell. The doors and all the panels had gone, the windows had gone, but it was a white shell, but it still had the sort of orange stripe in the middle on a bit of the rear quarter panel that was still there. Anyway, more boring tales from the scrapyard. What was the second one I did? Oh yes, the Beetle. I didn't show you that. Robert's boring tales from the scrapyard. It was a crap job and I don't miss it. So this is the Beetle, and I managed to damage the roof on that. I got a bit of, I think it was a file actually. I just squashed it with a file and the thing. I didn't video it because it was quite hard to do. But that bit there at the back, that's not fractured. The lower part there hasn't fractured either, so it stayed intact pretty well. And on this side, it looks like the roof's been caved in a bit, because it has. It's got a lopsided dent on it. And on this side, it's still upright, so that's the look I was going for. That was a success. That was a good one. That was well made, solid dinky casting, so it took the damage and didn't fracture. That bit there didn't fracture, so that's good. The window pillar didn't go, so that's good. Paint interior black, and that's good for the going on the scrapyard, so that's a good one. That was a success. The taxi, I did some damage on the wing, but that's not come out too well. But I smashed some windows out as well. It looked too good. I left the rear window in, but we smashed some glass out. It's got the quarter light in it still, but the windscreen's gone. I took the other headlight off because it still just looked too good. I've bent the bumper in a bit as well, because a chrome bumper would definitely be bent on a car in a scrapyard. This is where the bulk of the damage on the taxi was. Doesn't look too bad like that, but if you turn it that angle, you can see that's quite heavily caved in. You can sort of see that in the light. Yeah, so a bit of damage there. That rear wheel arch is okay. So that's how that's looking. Slightly, yeah, it's quite heavily bent there, and sort of damage would have occurred in the scrapyard by it being moved around by a crane or something, forklift truck moving it around the yard. Panels get dented, so that's the sort of thing I was going for on that one. And the rear wheel arch as well, that's been caved in as well. Look, see, it doesn't look like nothing much there. You can see a bit of damage, but if you do it from that angle, you can see that's how badly bent it is. That's a bit bent there, but you can see how pushed in that is there with that angle. And the front wing as well, you can see that from there. So yeah, so it may not be obvious major damage. I didn't want to do a lot of damage on that. I was tempted to try and crush the roof, but I thought it's only got a plastic base, so it won't take the damage. So, and I don't want to get carried away and overdo it. I did put, actually, you see that there? Yeah, there is a bit of damage there. I did bend the roof slightly. So that bit of guttering, it's not quite straight. That's because I put a bit of pressure on it. So I think that's enough damage for that. And it's got the side windows on that side still intact. So yeah, that's all right. I'm not doing any more on that one. So that's that. That's okay, I think. What should I show you next? What's the next one? It's the Capri. This didn't go so well. Tried to squash the wings. Yeah, you can see again, you can see it's been pushed in a bit, but it's nothing very obvious from that sort of angle. The front bumper, I managed to pull the front bumper off. I squashed it in the vise side to side, and yeah, a bit of damage there obviously. The front bowed out and it popped up, but I managed to squash it in the vise again, and it's popped it back together again now. So but yeah, I thought I'd crush the roof in a bit as well, seeing as the windscreen pillar's already fractured, so the roof's been crushed in, the sill's bent. I don't know if it's actually completely gone at that point. Is it cracked? It has cracked, but it hasn't actually fractured yet, so I managed to sort of not go overboard with it, so it's still still almost intact. It's not actually broken in two yet. Well, that's nearly there. If that was a real car with a rusty sill, that would probably have gone. Let's try and look at the other angle. I don't want to use the flash because it makes it glare too much, but you can see here anyway. So the back end is untouched really, so that's good. Different story for the side. No, that door won't push in, that's just sticking out at that angle now, so that's... Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, I suppose, because it was quite a good model when I got it. It only had fractures on the windscreen pillars, but I bought it for the scrapyard. It was a cheap one anyway. Oh yeah, and I've taken the wheels off, because when a car gets to this level of damage in the scrapyard, the wheels would definitely have been removed by that point. So yeah, so that's the Capri. I mean, it's a bit of a shame in some ways, but it was cheap and it was bought for the scrapyard diorama, so yeah. But I've got a nice one. I've got one of these in bright orange, so I have got a good one. Yeah, light's not very good, but yeah, that's my orange one. So that came from an auto jumble for 10 quid, but yeah. So I've got that one. That will do for that one. Hang on a minute. So what have I shown you? I've shown you the Beetle, the Taxi and the Capri and the Morris Minor van. Next I shall show you the minivan. This was quite good. This went quite well. You would have seen the video of me crushing the roof in a bit, so that's what that looks like. The glass hasn't actually popped out, so I'll probably smash the glass a little bit, but I'll probably leave the remnants of it in there. The front looked too good, so I squashed it side to side, and the jewelled headlights popped out, which is probably a good thing, because they didn't look very believable on a scrap car. So yeah, you can see that side's being a bit bashed. The paint's scraped up, so that's good. The paint looks about spot on now. That wing is now completely flat. The curve to the wing is gone. The headlamp bezel is squashed. The roof is caved in a little bit, but believably, because I didn't go so far as to break the windscreen pillar. The windscreen pillar is just bent, it's not fractured, so that's good. I had to go at this wing with a hammer, and it took it quite well. It didn't actually fracture, it's still riveted together, the rivet's still holding strong. So yeah, and the wheels got bent as well, so that's the minivan. Pretty well damaged now, so but the back end where this fragile tab is didn't touch that, so it's still intact, it's still in one piece. Unlike another vehicle where it went a bit wrong. Right, so that's the minivan. What else have I got to show you? I think that was it, wasn't it? I can't remember now. Here we have, oh, it's going to come apart. It's going to come apart, the stupid thing. Hang on, let's just see. Right, this is a Corgi Toys Triumph Herald Coupe. It is not a coupe anymore now, it's a convertible, which is exactly what I was trying to do. I wanted to get the roof off and the pillars off. So we've now got a convertible Triumph Herald with the open top roof. It's not together properly, it's quite loose, but I crushed the roof in, the roof pillars gave way, and I pulled the back pillars off, and we now got a convertible Triumph Herald, so minus the bonnet, but the vac form interior is still in there, so it still looks believable. It looks good. So I like that. I'm not doing anything more with that. That's exactly as it is going to stay. An open top Triumph Herald, so that's quite a result. Yeah, and it's got rubbishy paintwork anyway, so that's that one. That was a bit of a win. And now to the failure. This went wrong horribly. Yeah, the other Triumph Herald, I didn't leave it alone, did I? I managed to crush the front in and bend that, and I crushed the back end in a bit and bent that, and it was all fine. I managed to pop the front and back rivets back together again by crushing them downwards and squashing them together. But I thought, no, it needs a bit more damage. It looks a bit too good. Let's crush the roof in. So I tried to crush the roof in. If this is in focus at all, I don't know. And the roof didn't crush in very well. It's a very solid die cast. So basically what's happened is, hang on a second. Yeah. I snapped a bit off, but the front rivet gave way, the back one gave way, and it was just pop it. I could connect the front back rivet together, and then the front would pop off. Connect the front one together, and the back would pop off like a little seesaw. So it doesn't go together anymore, and that is complete rubbish. I managed to cave the rear wheel arch in a bit with a hammer, so it was going well, but it's basically disintegrated. That's not believable because the front bonnet on these things, as you can see from that Triumph Herald, it's a separate part. You know, the front bonnet lifts up, so having it like that doesn't really look believable at all. So I'll probably cut the front end off it. It won't go together. I think it's a bit of a mess. I'll do something with it. I'll probably just chop the front half of it and just leave the back of it as a shell, but it's not going to look very good. Yeah. If I had it looking quite good with just a bit of damage on the front and the back, but I thought, oh, I'll crush the roof in, and that hasn't really worked. And it's basically the chassis given up the ghost, and it's come apart. I mean, I can do something with it, I suppose, but it's in bits now, basically, so that's not good at all. So anyway, that's my video of damaging some cars. So I've done some damage on some vehicles. I'm not going to do any more of that. The rest of the cars that I've got for the scrapyard will stay as they are. So yeah, trying to squash and damage die-cast cars is quite tricky, and it's not straightforward. If you want to just destroy them and break them into lots of little bits, that's easy enough, but to actually create realistic damage, not very easy. So thanks for watching. I shall leave it there. Yeah, trying to damage die-cast cars is not straightforward, it's quite tricky. So yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Hope it was of some interest to somebody somewhere, and the next video will be an unboxing one. So I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Take care. Cheers. Bye.